Well, the game that a lot of the fanbase considers a masterpiece, alongside Metroid Prime, but we'll talk about it later. And as far as I can tell, I can see why. It's the first game in the franchise that introduces a lot of the mechanics and designs of the genre. And it's this game alongside Symphony of the Night that created the genre Metroidvania. Some indie games in a certain way owe a lot to this game. And let's not forget, there is a huge community of speedrunners always finding new ways to beat the game much quicker than the last.
I don't know.
Sí, no estoy tan metido en este juego. That's not to say it's bad, it's still an amazing game in its own right, but I don't feel as much of a deeper connection, unlike Metroid Prime or Metroid Dread. Still, this is a very good game, and for very good reasons. Like, for example, the visuals. Super Metroid is the first game in the franchise to feature 16-bit graphics, and they took advantage of that fact, because this is a game from 1994 and it still looks amazing to this day. And all the environments are unique and different from one another. Prince-Star looks lush and filled with life, Meridia feels like an underwater reef, the haunted ship is actually kinda scary. This game visuals are so iconic and memorable. I really like how this game looks even after 30 years. This is one of those cases where the visuals aged like a fine wine. You know what else holds up to this day? The music. This soundtrack slaps, and it's the first time we hear this iconic song. The first time I played this game, I already knew it had this theme, so the first time I went to Norfair, I thought I would hear it, but instead, another theme played. I was confused, but not long after, when I reached Lower Norfair, I was finally able to listen to this iconic song, and my personal favorite theme of the franchise ever. It just speaks volumes of the impact that the overall soundtrack has. It's just so epic, memorable, and incredible. There is just something interesting about the music that is just so good, making it a very close contender to my favorite video game soundtrack of all time. Every single song has a certain theme that complements the visuals of the area, making them pretty much a perfect match for one another. When it comes to gameplay, a lot of people consider this game the pinnacle of Metroidvania, and I can see why. It's linear enough so that new players can get a good grip of the level design, the abilities, the exploration, and everything that the game has to offer on a first playthrough. But it's open enough so that experienced players can pretty much do anything at any order. I mean, it's one of the reasons why speedruns exist. They were allowed to exploit the very mechanics of the game in order to beat it fast. Hell, there's even a way to beat the bosses of the game in reverse order. That's awesome! But I don't share the same enthusiasm. Now don't get me wrong, I still think it's an amazing game, and I still love it, but I don't feel the need to play it again. Almost every single game in the franchise gets me hooked in such a way that every once in a while I play it again, but not Super Metroid. There are several nitpicks that I have with the game. The floating movement of Samus feels strange and sometimes unresponsive. The map is kinda difficult to read. Some abilities like Space Jump just doesn't feel right. so I mainly try not to use them. Some of the cool abilities that you can do in the game are never taught by the game. But like I said, some of them are mostly nitpicks. But the main reason, at least for me, that I don't replay it as much as, say, Metroid Dread, is the fact that, to me, I feel pretty much fulfilled. This game allows me to do so many things before I even begin to comprehend what am I supposed to do and where am I supposed to go. And I am grateful for it. But once I finally got to do what I wanted to do in game, the only thing left to do is to make progress in the story. And by the time I reached the halfway mark of the game, I just wanted to see it end. To me, one of the many reasons why I play Metroid games is their replay value. Almost every Metroid game has a reason to replay it. Zero missions is the various endings. Fusion is the ability to get away from the predetermined path. Dread for the Chozo archives and the endings. While Super Metroid has Samus with less armor, the faster you beat it. Do forgive me, but I don't find that as enough reason to replay a game. And as much as I enjoy Super Metroid because it still is a fantastic game, it's going to take a very long time before I pick it up again. The story, por otro lado, is one of the best examples on how to tell a story with just visuals, some clues, and allowing the imagination of the player run wild. After spending some time with the baby Metroid, porque me rehúso a aceptar que lo dejó justamente después de adoptarlo, Samus goes to some scientists believing that with a little bit of research, something good could happen with it. So she leaves the baby with them, but not long after, she has to return, and that's not how the station was a few moments ago. What happened? Samus quickly rushes over to see the baby, and it seems fine. But from the shadows, Ridley appears. Ridley, bastardo, te va a caer la ley! Samus quickly gives chase and discovers he's heading to Ceres? What's going on? Weren't the space pirates weak and their base got destroyed? Twice? Once in Zero Missions and the other during the Phazon crisis? Something is off, but that doesn't matter. Right now, she needs to get to Ceres and rescue the baby. As she lands on the planet and starts exploring the depths of it again, she sees that the pirates went back to Ceres and were rebuilding their base and continuing operations. This needs to be stopped. So, like business as usual, she explores the depths of the planet, acquiring all manner of artifacts and upgrades left by the Chozo that for some reason are on the same spot. Huh. And some of the native creatures help her learn new techniques. With that, she's able to defeat pirate commanders Kraid, otra vez, Fantoon, a ghost hunting the wreckage of a ship. Huh. I wonder what happened to the mothership that Samus blew up back in Zero Missions. an underwater monster that only a mother can love. And Ridley. Samus, once and for all, ends the life of the creature that has been a thorn in her side for God knows how long. And then, nothing. Where is the baby? Something is wrong. In her search, she finds herself in a new Torian. The location is different, but the place is very similar to last time. After hordes of enemies, she encounters a room with husks of other creatures. A giant hopper attacks Samus, but out of nowhere, a giant Metroid appears. A Super Metroid? And drains the life of the creature, and immediately goes after Samus, draining her life as well. Reaching the very depths of Torian, there it is, Mother Brain, once again standing against Samus, but there's nothing a brain can do against the rage of a mother. When it seems that Samus defeated her, Mother Brain emerges from the ground on a new form. This time, the tides have turned and Samus is losing the battle and Mother Brain wants to finish her off. But before the killing blow, the baby appears to save Samus, draining the life of the brain and aiding its mother. Brain now rage, it attacks the baby Metroid. Sin palabras, y aún sigue doliendo. Before dying, the baby left Samus with a little gift, the Hyper Beam. With that power, she finally puts an end to the brain once and for all. But by doing so, triggers a self-destruct sequence not just on the base, but the entire planet. She quickly rises to the surface, saves the animals, because why wouldn't you, and leaves the planet before the explosion. I don't think so. All of that was to rescue the baby, and it couldn't do it. It died sacrificing itself for Samus. Sure, Samus brought an end to the space pirates, but at what cost? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Agree? Disagree? I don't know. Tell me about it down here in the comments. And also, you know what to do. And see you in the next time. Chayo!